All right, we are going. So this mainstream is mainly going to be about just going over kind of what was going on with the markets and just kind of looking at order flow and the footprint bar. Again, if you guys don't really know what I'm talking about, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Feel free to check out the Exo Charts playlist, link in the description below, or just slide on over to the playlist and there should be a good amount of videos to help you start off as really a beginner. And I also have various beginner strategies and advanced strategies. So now that I got that out of the way, let's kind of get into the business. Notice how on the bottom too, I am putting down a banner, so I'm pretty proud of that. But besides that, we'll kind of start off with the beginning of the CPI. And so I just kind of want to show you the levels in TradingView to start off. Right now, that was a major resistance we're kind of going into, starting off into the CPI. And so just drawing a fib from the swing high up here around 25K down to the low of 18.5. We come into a golden pocket of resistance here, and we got a nice, very sharp rejection off of that. So again, that was leading into the beginning of CPI. And so just going over in towards exo charts, so to speak. Hopefully everyone can hear me right now. Okay. We did have, just going towards the 15-minute here, we could see that price was moving up, and with it, open interest or market participants were kind of leading down into it. So that was kind of leading towards a weakness in price. You can think of it as price losing momentum or kind of losing steam, so to speak, kind of going into a resistance. And so typically you want to see kind of low volume going into resistance or going into a support. That way it can kind of pivot around that. Another good way of looking at this is that if we dig in kind of locally here, I am on the 4-hour time frame, and just draw a volume profile just from the upranging, the local uprange here, or uptrend, I should say. We could see that we were kind of losing momentum or volume up here. Again, kind of looking at kind of the tippy top of the candle. Again, normally you would include kind of the whole range, but since it is kind of past data, hopefully this does kind of get my point across. But here you can see that as we were coming into a resistance, the golden pocket here. I'll kind of draw this out for you guys. Again, keep in mind, I'm not the best drawer. I wasn't an art major for a reason. But again, we were coming into resistance on low volume. Therefore, volume was really weak and price was really weak. Also, just looking at the front bent bar stats here. Here you could see kind of not too much delta, so to speak, coming up. Here you could really see the open interest decreasing, and just going towards my delta chart here. If this can load, I'll kind of go back and see what's going on here. Again, this is just looking at delta. What is delta? It's the difference between the buyers and sellers. And here you could see a lot of purple, or meaning selling, or people closing their longs, so to speak. So just coming up into this, you could see the majority of delta is at the top of the candle here. Majority of selling delta. Here, this was kind of a neutral kind of candle. Here you could see much more selling kind of in the top of the candle and in kind of the valley area or body of the candle. And most importantly, here you could see before we got this huge dump down, a lot of selling, especially in kind of the point of control. The point of control is kind of the red area you see kind of in exo charts here. If I kind of zoom in a little bit here. So hopefully you guys can see that, and here within that you could see majority selling, so to speak. So again, just another kind of reason to kind of short at resistance, or why we got such a huge rejection at CPI. Again, I'm just looking at technicals and not really news or fundamentals. I just kind of find it funny how technicals can kind of lead to a news event. I think there was a famous trader who was saying, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. So again, this kind of exactly kind of what happened, so to speak. So I'll go back to kind of order flow and we can kind of dig in a little bit more deeper and see what's happening. And so I'll kind of talk about this sort of range right here before we kind of lost it down a little bit lower. So I'll kind of zoom in here. I'll head on over to the 15-minute chart here. Give me a second to load this guy up. And so again, we're going to be looking at the range. This is a little bit when the market was kind of cooling off after that CPI event. And with this, I'm going to be looking kind of at the CVD, or the delta bars here. It is kind of this indicator line that you see on Exo charts here, kind of part of the footprint bar stats. But what you notice going on is that price is making lower highs as CVD is increasing. That means people are getting aggressively long, and so typically CVD stands for cumulative volume delta. And so whenever you see people aggressively trying to long or short, typically CVD will go up, but there must be something or a limit order blocking it if price is not moving up, but yet there is a bunch of longs or shorts. In this case, there is a whole bunch of longs kind of coming into the market. And so you can kind of see this, especially kind of over here, kind of at the start of the divergence. Here you can notice, if you look closely in the order flow, the amount of imbalances here. We're getting a nice amount of stacked imbalances within this candle, kind of the top of the divergence where it kind of started that kind of pivot towards down of a higher low. Here you can see 4.2 million of kind of on towards the top, and yet price is getting held down. You can see this too, that price was making a lower low right here, yet CVD was increasing and kind of leading towards all-time highs. Same thing here, we were getting even more kind of longs coming in, turning on my net longs too. 7 million longs, or just a large increase candle in longs, so to speak. Again, I don't want you guys to really look at the numbers. I just want you guys to look at kind of the how large the bar, if longs are coming into the market or coming really out of the market. So again, you can kind of double check that too. Open interest, yeah, open interest was increasing, so yeah, there was a lot of longs kind of coming in. But in this case, I'm kind of looking more at the CVD. That was kind of the context towards this trade. And so kind of zooming out again, here we can see market trying to push up again. And here you can see the CVD, again, still making higher highs, a higher high comparative over here even. So there's even more longs coming into the market. How do you know that? Well, just zooming into the order flow here, you can see a whole bunch of highlighted longs on the right hand side here within this candle, kind of pushing price up. Here you can see even more longs coming in, pushing price up as noted by the delta. 3.1 million total delta here. This candle right here, good amount of longs coming in, 3.6 million. But yeah, price is still holding down and it kind of rejects from that, as noted by the CVD, still making a high. So this is kind of, if you were to compare kind of these 3 points, this is kind of like a triple divergence. So that is very bearish in this case. What's even yet more interesting is that CVD is still making kind of local all-time highs as price is still yet coming down. And so observing the more amount of longs coming into this market, here you can see 3.4 million delta coming in, as noted by the stacked imbalances here within this candle, yet price is not pumping, as noted by kind of the net longs coming in. I guess there wasn't too many net longs coming in, but nevertheless, a lot of stacked imbalances here. Typically would be a bullish candle, but yet there must be a large limit order trying to fill their orders and kind of short the price down. And so we kind of range throughout the day. Very, very kind of boring price action. At this time, I was leaning more bearish. I wasn't going to really short from here. Kind of missed my opportunity. I would have shorted at kind of the highs here. During the point being, we were kind of hovering around a monthly level. Let me go into and kind of zoom in a little bit more. Here we were kind of acting as a support and resistance of this important monthly level, fresh new monthly at around 20,050, so to speak. Honestly, I was kind of waiting for price to kind of push up a little bit more. And so I just kind of drew a trend line and was kind of waiting. I was live doing this, kind of waiting for price to kind of come up here, range a little bit, and then expecting kind of a drop down. However, that didn't really happen. We just kind of ranged a little bit down and dropped down, but kind of missed a trade there. Oh well. I was kind of waiting for a better high probability setup compared to just forcing a trade. If I would have just forced a trade, I would have been kind of holding a trade potentially underwater, and it wouldn't have been a high probability. So I guess what I'm trying to say is look for those high probability setups. Do not force a trade when you are unsure of what the market is going to be doing. It's best to stay out. Again, no trade is better than kind of a forceful trade or a gambling trade. Remember, trading is not really gambling. You want to stack up those probabilities in your favor. So again, just kind of a rant there. And so yeah, we'd end up dropping down a little bit lower here, as noted by kind of stacked imbalances of shorts, as noted by kind of the volume here, 13 million volume, negative 2.5 million delta, just kind of leading up towards that candle too. Here you can see the volume kind of increasing. So I want you guys to think of volume as kind of momentum, and deciding which way momentum or the market is going. You can tell that by looking at delta. So here you can see that delta was decreasing here. Negative 3.2 million, 7.2 million volume. Volume is starting to pick up, so that means momentum, selling momentum is starting to really pick up. So it increases to 11 million, finally to 13 million. And while this is happening too, take a look at kind of the stacked imbalances here. So a lot of shorts or selling imbalances kind of coming into the market. You can double check that by hitting the NS or net shorts here. And then eventually we kind of start to drop down even more as volume starts to really pick up. So we increase to kind of 45 million, 48 million, 31 million, and then 72 million. So again, that's now we're kind of ranging, so to speak, kind of going sideways. And now I kind of want to show you what was kind of going on to make me kind of enter a long here. Again, at the time being, it was around kind of this point right here. Here you kind of see that bullish absorption was going on. So now we're kind of flipping opposite. Now we're kind of seeing aggressive shorts kind of entering the market, so to speak. And so just kind of zooming in here. Here you can see a whole bunch of stacked short imbalances. Again, I'm looking at short imbalances as the value on the left-hand side of the order flow here. And so here you can see more shorts coming in, more shorts coming in. Let me try to find another example here. Here you can see a large amount of shorts coming in, as noted by the large amount of negative delta. 6.4 million, that's quite significant, along with the volume kind of increasing too. And what's really cool here too is that you can see CVD making lower lows, yet price is holding up. So there must be a large limit order here. I don't know exactly, but there must be around this vicinity here at around 19,600. Just kind of setting and passively putting their market order there in, and just kind of absorbing the shorts that are coming into the market. So it's a market buy order, and yes, it's holding price up as people are aggressively trying to short it kind of down more. So you can kind of see it within here. Price is still holding up, yet CVD is decreasing. So there means a lot of shorts are coming in, mainly from kind of retail buyers or smaller buyers, and a big kind of institution, you can say, it's kind of holding up price. And so that kind of happens here too. Price will try to, or the market will try to push down. A lot more shorts kind of enter in here. Yet price is still holding up. So that is pretty interesting to kind of say the least. And here, nothing's really kind of going on. Yes, there seems to be more shorts kind of coming in, but so far it kind of looks like the market is still kind of holding up, so to speak. So again, a lot of aggressive shorts kind of entered in right here, as noted, and so price is just kind of holding up. So again, that's kind of what's been happening with the Bitcoin price, analyzing technical analysis, and just kind of the order flow, kind of in a nutshell. If you guys kind of learned something new from that, feel free to subscribe and check out the playlist. I did my very best to kind of put together a free playlist. I will be kind of redoing it as I kind of go on, now that I know what questions people commonly asked, and that way I can kind of answer them in the video. That way I can kind of add more value into those videos, so to speak. So just about a 16-minute kind of going through the order flow there. Let's see if there's anyone live in the chat. Yeah, the ETH merge kind of caused a dump of Ethereum. We've just been slowly grinding down towards kind of this daily level. I do believe we're going to be hitting at around kind of this daily level down here. Just going and looking kind of at the swing trades. Oop, let me kind of reset. I do believe we're going to kind of come back and kind of retest kind of these highs down up here. This might hold as a support, and then lastly we'll kind of pump up to 2400. Again, that's kind of the swing trades that I'm kind of looking at. I do kind of, this will be kind of more of a spot opportunity. This won't be necessarily a leverage opportunity. So just keep that in mind. Not financial advice, but that is just what the gunslinger is doing. So right now, just looking at the order flow locally on the Bitcoin chart on the 5-minute. Here we can see a good amount of stacked imbalances kind of happening, opening up open interest. Here you can see a large amount of people trying to close their trades. That is very good to see at a support. However, I'm kind of iffy of the large amount of volume that happened within here, but it's nice to see these stacked imbalances kind of holding price up. And it's nice to see locally that open interest is increasing as there are kind of more longs coming into this market. So that is bullish, and that is a good thing to see. So again, that's looking at the Bitcoin price. Anything else in here? Yeah, I can take a look at Ethereum order flow. Go to 7 hotkey. Take a drink of water here. Good amount of stacked imbalances. It's not enough to give me a long opportunity since we're just at the previous day value area low. Not really the best. Plus we're kind of sandwiched in between the VWAP. But it's good to see that there's low amounts of volume transacted down here. Volume is decreasing on the footprint bar right here, so to speak. But really I want to see more delta. I don't really see too many longs coming in here. Yeah, this is mainly a price fueled up by people closing their shorts mainly on Ethereum. But I don't know. I've just noticed that Ethereum just keeps on dumping and Bitcoin is kind of holding up. So I find that kind of strange. Haven't seen that too many times. But yeah, that's kind of order flow in a nutshell for Ethereum. But yeah, I think this was pretty good quick stream. We'll see what happens with the New York session. Have a feeling the S&P is going to dump pretty hard since ES has been dumping really hard. S&P at the end of the day, though, got a large volume injection of potential green, or buyers, I should say. The dollar has been creeping its way up. Looks like it wants to take out these highs, so that will lead to downward pressure on Bitcoin. I'm still long on Bitcoin. Kind of posted that trade set up on my channel. It's more of a kind of swing trade. I'm kind of aiming up towards here. It might go higher, but again, I have no way of really forecasting or predicting the future. I have been holding in the trade for almost 24 hours now. A little bit less than 24 hours, or like 20 hours per se. But I'm still in the green barely. We'll see what happens. We've been ranging right now, but there's been a good amount of absorption going on, so I do believe institutions got our back. The whales have us. No need to fear. Yeah, people are dumping spot because of the merge, whatever. Oh well. I'll be a buyer at 1300. Not financial advice, but you'll get what I mean. Uh-oh, my computer froze up here. Sometimes the order flow is kind of hard on my old dinosaur computer. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. I don't really expect too much of a pumpage today. I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of range, and then tomorrow we'll see kind of a pumpage on low volume maybe. I don't know, that's just me kind of guessing right now. But this range is holding up pretty well, so to speak. But yeah, if you guys are just hopping on right now, I would highly suggest kind of going back and starting from the beginning. I kind of went through this week's reasoning or TA of kind of how the market was going and just kind of my thoughts on it. So it was a brief 16-minute commentary. I think it'll be of good use. There's something going on with my channel right now. Someone's trying to watch my other video, but I've had so many problems with the YouTube streaming. Oh well, but again, kind of got my point across with this video, so. Yep, what's going on, Jason? Yeah. Really interesting what's going on with kind of Ethereum Trader K. So I'll probably be on for another about 7 minutes. I wasn't really planning on being too long today. But yeah, I'll try to commentary the kind of the market open, the US Open, so to speak, and see what's going on. To be honest, I don't really know if we're going to dump or pump. I'm kind of itching towards a pump, but that's kind of me being kind of hopeful, which isn't always a good thing. What are you guys thinking? Dump or pump? Dump or pump? But yeah, this CVD is looking good. It's good to see prices holding up. Especially down here, I think there is a lot of aggressive shorters. And this might, keyword might, be a local bottom right here. Due to the fact that people were shorting like maniacs, especially in this candle. So we'll see what happens. Again, I don't want to get too cocky. Both? Yeah. Slowly training my voice up for Bitcoin commentary. Getting back into kind of doing videos again. That very first stream that I did last week, I pretty much lost my voice the rest of that day. But yeah. Let's see here. Any new dailies to be aware of? There is a daily right here. That's an ongoing daily though. We'll see if that daily holds. It's going to the 15-minute. Has been a common support, so that's looking good. I'd say if you really want a long, just wait for price to kind of pull back here and then take a long. Nice confluence too, because that is a previous day point of control. The daily open and the daily valley area low. So yeah, just kind of look for that. I guess a good target would be up towards kind of the 20K level. So this monthly, or just taking out these highs right here. Taking out these highs. Be a nice scalp. Again, not financial advice. Just what gun. Do you still use Bookmap? Set up a poll. So here's the thing. For scalping, when I'm not really playing it off a major level, yes, I will like close out my trade pretty much in a 0.5% move. But lately I've been kind of swing trading. And so this is kind of more of a swing trade, so I probably will be kind of more greedy with locking in profits. Probably look to lock in profits at around 21.5K. So again, just not financial advice. Do you still use Bookmap? JL, you gotta remind me of what Bookmap is again. Trying to think. Maybe I didn't have enough coffee this morning. I don't know. But yeah, just rephrase on that. And make a poll. I don't know how to make a poll. That's the thing. But yeah, just type again. I don't know what you mean by Bookmap. If you're asking about heat maps, I don't use those. Oh, no worries. But yeah, to answer your question, I probably don't use Bookmap. But anyways, just looking locally, this move down kind of looks weak. So about a minute here before the US opens, the bell starts ringing, the cash open. Looks like ES is pumping. Good to see. I have a feeling we're gonna gap down a little bit on the S&P and then start to pump up and kind of fill in that gap as kind of 9 o'clock starts to roll around. But again, I could be wrong based off of that. I'm just looking at the Bitcoin order flow, and Bitcoin's really all I really care about at this point. But yeah. Bookmap is like EXO just with bubbles. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah. Alright. So yeah, we're getting kind of a scam pump right now. Hold on, I'm on the 3-minute. So some longs coming in. Shorts kind of look to be trapped right at around here. Or it could be longs closing. Again, as noted by kind of the decrease in OI here. Could be longs closing, so to speak. But looks like the VWAP was kind of resistance. Now it's kind of flipping back into support. We'll see if we get kind of more of a pumpage here. We'll see what happens here. It'd be interesting to see trap shorts down here. Trap shorts at support, as there are a lot of shorts kind of FOMOing here. Not a lot, but good amount. Yeah, good amount. It's holding up. See if we get some local absorption going on. Again, these shorts aren't quote-unquote trapped yet. I want to see kind of a next candle, or we could kind of lose this range too. Again, it's kind of low volume, so to speak, but again, this is kind of the US Open, so I don't really judge the first 3 minutes of this. But yeah, OI is decreasing here. Mainly longs just closing out. We'll see if the next candle we get kind of buyers stepping up or not. Or we might just lose this range. I am long though. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll take out this wick. Not entirely sure. Alright, now shorts are closing out. Interesting. So a lot of people are kind of coming out of the market right here, and just within this candle. Yeah, there's a stream of it running. Howdy, crypto life. I don't know. People probably can spook book maps. It's basically a fancy term, if I recall correctly, of heat maps, and so people can take in and out of limit orders just at like a low. So like for example, someone can open up a large limit order at like 19K, and then they can remove it once price kind of comes down towards there. So again, it's not really totally liable, but looking at the open here, we're seeing nice amount of longs We'll see if this kind of confirms. Again, there are people who shorted right here, right at support. They FOMO'd short. They hit that red button. And we'll see if they get punished or not. Right now, we would like to see kind of longs or stacked longs kind of coming in here. If not, we might range a little bit. We'll see. Price kind of, S&P kind of gapping down. We might dump down a little bit for about the next 10 minutes or so, and then start to make our way up. Maybe fill this gap. Again, I'm not entirely sure of that, but yeah, kind of what it looks like. Who knows? We might lose this range. Again, just don't put all your life savings on longing here. But there's pretty good, I've noticed good absorption, at least last night going on. Wow, large increase in OI here. There's a large long. See if it's still there. So far, this isn't really looking too good. But again, I'm just looking at the last two candles right now. We'll see what goes on. Again, this kind of rain, I don't know, this whole week has been really strange. It's been, I feel like, controlled by institutions a lot compared to kind of just looking at it balances. The CVD has been pretty spot on. Just looking at that, a lot of absorption, so to speak, going on in the markets this week. All right, we're kind of dumping down lower. We might itch our way towards this previous day low. Again, this kind of local trend here is weak. It is pretty weak. So we might see a swing failure pattern of this. I think that's lining up pretty, it's lining up pretty nicely with the previous day value or low. So we'll see a mini swing failure pattern here. Oh, I definitely do better with XO charts. Yeah, try to be wary of just using fibs with no other levels to really look at, but there might be, I don't know, your TA might be a little bit different. It's alright, I'm gonna be surprised if we start to see more absorption going on here. Not really. We'll see what happens. Anyways, I'm just saying this move down is weak. That's all I have to say about that. No, I do not trade with TR charts. I don't know. I just kind of overthink it with kind of order flow and kind of TR charts. I know some people kind of combine the two. It just doesn't work for me, but I use delta charts instead, and I look at volume charts. Not so much volume charts, but delta. Speaking of which, good amount of delta coming in at the lows right here, stacked delta. This is looking good. However, I'm kind of weary of this. a lot of kind of selling at kind of the high right here. I want to see kind of the valley area shift down towards the low of the candle and this turn into kind of more of a green candle, so to speak, along with more kind of buying delta, kind of laddering in here. But yeah, if you guys are just tuning in now, feel free to kind of restart the stream as I went over kind of an introduction to what was happening with this week and just me doing more in-depth order flow reading, so you guys can know. I went over absorption too, bullish and bearish examples. Looks like ES is pivoting. S&P might be pivoting, but again, this is kind of more of a low volume kind of dump. We'll see what happens here. Bitcoin's pumping. Let's see if there's some, ooh, there's a good amount of longy longs coming in. I think short because the VWAP. Are you talking about market cipher? Or are you talking about right here? We might push through the VWAP. I don't know. I'm long. I'm not shorting this. Again, I could be wrong, but again, we might kind of creep down a little bit more and take out this 19,600. That might spook a lot of people. But again, there's really no certainties. I'm not a genie. You can't always get what you wish for. Nice. Yeah, you can probably hold on to your shorts for now. I'm just saying I want it short here. Well, I'm not. You guys can do what you want. It's holding up pretty well. A lot of shorts are closing down here. Not a lot, but a good chunk came out in this candle right here. But I do use VWAP a lot, yes, within XO charts. I don't really use the session VWAP too much, but it is good for like trends. I believe the VWAP is kind of better than EMAs, in my opinion. But I still use the 200 EMA from time to time, especially on the weekly and the 4-hour. That is pretty useful, even though I don't have it on my chart right now. But the 221 EM or the 21 EMA I use, and then the 200 SMA, simple moving average, I use. So those are like my two favorites that I kind of trade based off of. So yeah, we're kind of holding here. Ooh, yes, it's kind of dumping down. Oh, it's slowly making its way up. VIX is pumping. That's not always a good sign. However, we are kind of towards like the 30 on the VIX. Yeah. This might be a little bit of a resistance for the VIX. But again, the VIX is really hard to do TA on. Oh, nice. To be honest, I would like to get more into kind of commodities trading. Someday. What ticker symbol are you looking at for oil? Is it crude or West Texas? Still a good amount of longs coming into Bitcoin. No sign of major shorts. I'll give it about 15 more minutes here, or probably about 5 more minutes, depends on how busy I get. Yeah, I'll be going shortly here, but again, just feel free to check out the links in my description. I think they will be of use to people. Again, I still think Market Cipher is pretty good for beginners, and just learning how to kind of interpret and read price. But really not financial advice. Yeah, VWAP is pretty good. Kind of draws it for you, and it resets after each kind of daily open, so that's pretty nice. I might start streaming with a desktop version of EXO. Thing is, when I'm streaming and have TradingView and have EXO charts going, it really boggles down my computer. I don't have that strong of a computer, but the web version I'm running just fine. So I guess we can test it out, I suppose. But yeah, longs coming in. Oh, I have lots of scalping strategies. Lots. Just check out my other videos. But with Orderflow, it's kind of hard. You just gotta read what's going on. Thank you, I appreciate it. Again, there's not a specific strategy with Orderflow. It's more of a routine. I best describe it. I guess it's a little bit more like intermediate trading. You kind of have to know what's going on. But I do have a lot of market cipher strategies. I think people would like start off with like the most popular of my videos. Go into like my videos and then hit sort by and go to popular and just start off with those strategies. So hopefully that can help you out. I think it will. So yeah, just look for a reaction at the levels. That's all I can really say. Shubham Wrecker, just rewind the stream and I go through like kind of my thoughts and trades and TA and whatnot. I think you'll find it useful. It's like watch like the first 16 minutes or so. I'm literally just going through this week's reactions and seeing the levels so and so. So with that being said, I am gonna wrap up today's stream. Feel free to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're new here, welcome. Check out my playlists. I think you'll find those of very good use. You can choose to marathon them or just kind of go one by one with them. I kind of recommend going one by one with them. That way you don't really burn yourself out. But if you want to marathon them and binge them, kudos to you guys. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a good weekend. And remember to take breaks. I hope people, if you're kind of trading part-time or full-time, take a break and kind of refresh your mind. Trading can be very demanding. So